Hey guys! So today I am doing my September wrap up. I didn't really get through that many books. I read 3 this month. It's just been a really rough month. I started a new job, which I'm really excited about, so that's cool. So I just really didn't have much time to read, but yeah, let's get into the 3 books that I read, and I will talk about all of them and let you know how I felt about them. So the first book that I finished was Summerlong by Peter S. Beagle, and this book is kind of, how do I describe it? It follows a couple that's older, like in their 60s and 50s, and they live in this small kind of town, I believe like in Washington. And they come across a young woman who's looking for a place to stay, and they decide to take her in and let her live in their garage. And then slowly as the story goes on, there's something very curious about this woman and very weird, and I guess the story goes on from there. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah, I really did not enjoy this story. So yeah, I really had a lot of expectations through this story, and I guess I was expecting something completely different. So I don't know, the story did not really work for me. I'm gonna read you the description and kind of tell you what I was expecting and then what really happened. So here's what the description says. A retired history professor, Abe Arson, is a cranky, solitary man living out his autumn years on Gardner Island, a ferry ride away from the hustle and bustle of nearby Seattle. One rainy February night, while dining at his favorite local hut, Abe and his girlfriend, Joanna, meet an engaging, enigmatic waitress, new in town without a place of her own. Fascinated and moved by the girl's plight, Joanna invites her to stay in Abe's garage. It seems everyone falls for the charming and invigorating waitress, but she is much more than she appears, and an ancient covenant made a millennium ago threatened to disrupt the spring and alter the lives of Abe, Joanna, and all those around them forever. So it seems like it's going to be like this really epic kind of story with maybe some magical elements to it. And don't get me wrong, there was magical elements to it. There is a deeper bit to the story, but the story just was very slow going in. There's like little weird parts here and there, but they don't really go anywhere until the very end of the story, and then you kind of figure out what's going on and what everything is. And to me, I just didn't feel like the characters were all that interesting. Like, they didn't really grow at all to me, and like, it says that their lives are changed forever, but they always talk about at the end, they're talking about how this is so effective, but it didn't really come across as something that was really all that life-changing or serious. So I don't know, it was just a really weird story, and I enjoy weird stories, but this was just weird in a bad way. Like, I didn't understand it. I didn't really get where he was trying to go with the story, and it was just very slow and very drawn out for like no reason to me. I just was not a fan. I ended up giving it 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I was just not really happy with that book. So yeah, I mean, you might enjoy it if you like more contemporary stories with a slight magical element to it, and I say slight as in very slight, or if you're looking for a new kind of characters, because I did enjoy reading a story coming from characters that were much older than what I'm used to reading, so that was very interesting, and I would have liked more of that in the story. So if you're looking for something with characters that are like a lot like older than you, or just looking for an older main character group, that might work for you. So I mean, I don't know, you might enjoy it. I just was not my cup of tea. So the next book that I read was Lumen A by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I don't know if I should say too much about it, because I'm sure you've all heard of it, but basically it follows this 2 people that recently broken up, and there's just intergalactic war going on, and essentially it kind of follows them as they're both on these spaceships running away from this other ship, and there's like a sickness going on in one of them and some strange stuff going on, and it's pretty cool as they kind of try to figure out what's happening. So there's also some artificial intelligence, which is really cool. And this book was actually really, really good. I didn't really want to come into this book with a lot of expectations. I know it's like really super hyped on YouTube, so I was trying to not have any kind of impressions or any idea when I came into this book, and I was pleasantly surprised how much I enjoyed it. It does take a little time to get into because the format is a little jarring and confusing. I mean, most of it's through like instant messages or like all like kind of like similar to like a police report or something. So it's a very different format, but as you go on through the story, it makes much more sense and it's actually interesting, and it definitely helps with you could get through this book pretty fast. I really enjoyed it. I was also kind of worried whether this format, would translate well with what's going on in the plot. Because instant message, I feel like you get a lot of the conversation, but you don't really get what's actually happening in the moment. But I think they did a really good job of making it feel like you're there, and the action was very described very well. So I really liked it. I cannot wait to get the next one. This was definitely a really great book. I'm actually really, really surprised how much I enjoyed it, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, definitely if you have not checked out this book and you're into sci-fi, I would definitely give this one a try. It's really cool. So yeah, overall, this is a really great book, and I can't wait to see what they do with the next one. So the last book that I got through is The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl by Issa Rae. And this book has always been on my radar for a while now. She has a YouTube channel or a series called The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl, and it's actually turning into an HBO TV show. So I've wanted to get this one just so I could see like what the hype was all about. I've watched the YouTube series. It was awesome. And this was also really, really good. I think she brings a really interesting perspective to living as an African-American female, but she doesn't necessarily fit all the stereotypes of an African-American. So I really liked seeing her perspective on things. I really liked, there's like sections in this book that are like the Awkward Black Girl guide, and those are probably like my favorite sections because they kind of just like really give you, if you're an awkward person, they really kind of give you like life advice, I guess, but they were just really funny, and she just has a really great sense of humor, and I feel like anybody would really be able to relate to this book, especially if you feel like the black sheep of your family or anything like that. It's definitely relatable even if you're not African American, so I really recommend this book. It's definitely worth a good read, and overall a really great book. So yeah, those are the 3 books that I got through this month. Hopefully the month of October will be a better reading month for me. I'm going to be reading a few kind of more paranormal stuff, I think, for October and Halloween, so hopefully it'll be a better month and I can get through some more stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys read in the month of September, or if you read any of these stories. I'd love to know your thoughts. And yeah, you'll see you guys next week. Bye. So you have these 4 characters who are getting basically a second chance at life. There is a new medical